Hi there, and welcome to the player edition of the Show Me the Money podcast, and of course, welcome back, Craig.
Good evening, Johnny. How are we, sir?
I'm not bad, thanks. Yeah, just a bit tired, but I thought we'd get this one out the way first. And sit the group chat and go mental.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, I wonder who back, but yeah.
Life sucks and all that.
I know. Well, I had the same problem in the Octable, so that was a bit more of a tanking.
Yeah, I've got to say.
Well, we'll start off with
Yeah, so we're into the quarterfinals, Johnny. Here we go. Congratulations, everyone that's made the playoffs. And, you know, you spend the whole entire year, you know, getting your team ready. You study I mean, it's like a year-long event, you know what I mean? You do your studying in the off-season, get yourself ready, you're seeing who you think, and then the drafts start, you know, and you start looking at who's going where, and you start piecing together where you think you're going to be able to get players and how you think you're going to get them, and you put your jigsaw together. Season starts, it's looking really good. You started well, your players are playing well. You've still got the likes of JT come back. He comes back, he's doing really well. The season's going brilliant. You can't help but, you know, you're going great guns. You make a wee move halfway through the season just to shore up that one position that you're not quite there with, you know. You spend a whole entire year getting yourself ready for the playoffs, and it goes to fucking pot in one evening. I mean, it's just absolute fucking bollocks, Johnny. I'm not even, I don't swear on this thing, but fucking bollocks. Honestly, it's not even funny. It's like, you know, Mayfield went for a ball. Maybe he's the only perfect quarterback ever to walk out of Lambeau Field. Only perfect quarterback ever to walk out. And Mike Evans has got 11 points.
I know, it's a bit of a mental one, that one. Like, who the hell got the ball then?
It's just, you know, you've got Jacobs goes out, Taylor goes out. You're trying to make a pick between Evans, Sutton, A-Chain, Moore. You make the right picks, and not one of them. I mean, literally, I have had over 100 points for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then you get Jared Goff shows up with 40 points and fucks you over.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So, you know, I mean, well done, Mark. Sorry, let me throw that in there first. Congratulations, Mark. Well done. Nice win. Go win it now. Go win the whole lot now. But I'm sorry with that pile of pish. It ain't going to happen. But, you know, I mean, even Mark's get screwed a little bit. You know, Bejan's get minus points.
Yeah.
Brought in Wicks, which was a good move for him, you know. But, I mean, he's won it with one player.
Well, basically, yeah. It's over.
More importantly, he's won it because none of mine showed up. Literally not one of mine showed up. If one of my players had showed up, I would have won that game.
I know. Well, your defense did as best as it could. You know what I mean? 14 points for the Saints defense is a good one, but not enough.
Not
enough. It's a bit one. So.
Mark matches on. Well done, sir.
Yes, well done, Mark.
Good luck in the semis. And then... And I'm sure Grotty's feeling his pig sick this morning as I am, and that's no detriment to Joe. Joe's got a decent team there, at least, you know, and Joe's got a good side and good chance of going back-to-back, for being the first back-to-back now.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, Grotty must be absolutely greeting as well, man. It's like, again, he's went even deeper than me putting this team together, do you know what I mean? He's sacrificed last year and next year.
Yeah.
Have his pop this year, and he's got absolutely screwed over because Eckler can't get 4 points. Williams can only get 2. Diggs and Smith can't break 5 each. You know, Metcalf's 7 points. I mean, it's
crazy. But look how the problem with you obviously you could have played Walker, but
wouldn't have made a difference.
You don't know how fit he is. Yeah, I mean, so it would have been a bit closer, but yeah. Look at the C. See the catch he got. It's like the wee boy got very high for a touchdown, but he's never done that since he bloody joined them. So it's a bit of a.
I mean, if he played them both, it would have made a difference. But
some set of balls to play those two over Eckler and Williams, to be honest.
Very much so. But I mean, Eckler has been on the decline, but he did have a good week last week again. But yeah, I mean, you've got, you know, unlucky Grotty. It's like you've been screwed over and all that. But Joe's Joe's flying now, you know. I mean, Drake London only got 2.4 points, but they played an absolute torrential downpour.
That was a nightmare, that one night. Yeah, it was just crazy. So he's lucky with that. It was a good captain to get that, actually.
But outside of that, I mean, the rest of his team's done okay, you know. He'll be delighted to see Cutback getting the points again, you know.
He has lost Mitchell, though, but obviously he can put Sanders in unless he picks up another running back.
Mostert's not showing any signs of slowing down either.
He only had 42 bloody yards.
But more importantly, with the teams that are the 4 favourites are out.
Yeah, basically.
So it's anyone's game now. It's anyone's now, you know. So Joe's got every chance of going back to back. Every chance of going back to back.
Definitely, and hopefully no asterisks in this one, Joe.
No asterisks in this one.
So everybody stay healthy on the field. And I would say shock number 3. Well,
then I mean, he's no. The Doug hasn't scored over 75 points in like 6 weeks either, and he scores 89, and it's enough, you know. And poor Alan must be pig sick as well, you know. It's like
Chandler on the bench and playing Hall doing fuck all again, like it's just
that was probably stupidity more than anything else. Although when you're making the pick, you've got to go with Hall. Surely, you know, Hall's a player.
Yeah,
but you know,
he had a good week the week before, but just not this week.
He did, and McKinnon there as well. McKinnon was always going to have a better week. But who do you drop? Like you say, you can't drop Kamara, you can't drop Caleb Williams, and you know you can drop Hall, I guess. But it's a put it this way: if he'd have dropped Hall and played Chandler, and Chandler got 1.8 and Hall got 21.7, we'd be absolutely berating him right now.
Yeah, that's true. And I would say he had to pick up Ridder because he lost Herbert last week. So obviously Ridder didn't really do him much good.
No,
I think Ridder dropped this week as well. I think Heineke's the starter.
Oh, is it?
He's going to have to hunt for another quarterback. It was announced earlier on that Heineke is going to be the starter this week. So
I think Alan will be given a shit as much of this week as I am, and that's
none. You're still saying some sort of spotlight. So
they can have them. I'm done. but yeah, I mean, well done to Doug, as you say. You know, McLaurin's 20 points, as he says.
Nothing last week. Yeah,
he yelped when McLaurin went in, and I don't blame him, to be honest with you, because you know, Mahomes will do him just fine. Although he could have done McGough, but Mahomes will do him just fine, and he'll go along fine. I mean, I'd go as far as saying Doug's now the favourite.
Oh, don't tell him that.
I'd go as far as saying that he is the favourite to win that tournament.
Well, between himself and Joe, if Joe can get a serviceable running back to replace Mitchell, and I'm not really sure that Sanders is a running back to do that,
but it's
he'll have a chance. But
what Doug needs to do really is he needs to pick correctly between Spears, Hubbard, Warren, Smith and Jigba, and Brown. You know, he's got to play 2 of those 5, and he's got to pick the right 2. And if he can pick the right 2 the next 2 weeks, I think he's going to win it. You know, Mahomes will score fine. Brown will score fine. You know, they'll bounce.
He's played the Giants twice, so
you know they need to bounce back now as well. They need to start showing some sort of form heading into the playoffs, and they've pretty much lost home advantage now. I don't see how they get that.
Well, if they win the next 3 games, they'll win the division. So at least they'll have 1 home game, but they're not going to get home. No chance now.
Of course, it'll be as good as 49ers now, won't it? Because of course the Cowboys lost as well, the buggers.
Yeah. So the 49ers have basically got it. Even if they lose to the Ravens, they'll probably still got it. They're probably maybe 2 games up now.
But they'll be wanting the home as much home as they can get. You know, so I mean. I don't see Brown slowing down anytime soon. I don't see McLaurin slowing down very much either, because the Commanders are going to play out. They've been okay this year, but terrible, if you know what I mean.
And Heineke does like throwing to McLaren, so that's obviously going to help him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Kelsey's just been such a disappointment for him, but he's just not needed anymore, you know.
Well, he seems to like going to Rice a lot.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, he's not needed in Doug's team here. You know, it's he's been bad for weeks and weeks and weeks, and here he is in the semi-finals. So, It's and obviously he's always one that can bust out with a massive week. And if Kelsey has a massive week, Doug wins the tie. Aye, Doug wins the tie. That's it.
Especially with those two. But no, that's it. Well done, Doug. Unlucky Alan. You've still got the article.
Dickhead. Did I say it loud?
I heard that. I'm not sure everybody else, but there's two people watching, so somebody heard it. Make a comment if you heard it. And this is a sore one.
Yeah, that's unlucky for Michael. And congratulations, Sean. It's a big one.
Well, it helped with the fact that Alabi was out, a late out for Hill, lost Stroud, and you've got to put an 80 fucking Perry.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Yeah,
I know, it's just like, that's a killer when you get to the playoffs. I know yours was a killer, but that, losing Tyreek Hill not long before kickoff. Olabi, I think I got caught out in one league because I got home from work and didn't get him out in time because it was such a late call up. And Brian lost Stroud for concussion, and Brian Robertson's out. So I know maybe did a bit Rudy in, but Ken, it is Broncos.
I mean, Stroud wasn't an issue. He just went and picked up Carr, and Carr's done him just fine.
Carr's done him brilliant, but the other ones,
Helen Olavi is as bad a loss as Jacobs and JT were to me. They really are. It's massive losses. And that, you can see what happened there. He's got 5.5 points from his wide receivers, so massive losses. And to
make it worse, obviously, Sean had Waddle, who went off on one because Hill wasn't playing. Just to rub salt into the wounds, like.
He could afford the goose egg for Kincaid as well, It's and. I mean, Sean's for me, Sean and Doug are the two that are they playing each other or they avoid each other?
They'll find out in the next page.
Fair enough. But yeah, so it's, I mean, he had Henry get 1 point. He had Chase and he's lost Chase as well now, so that's a problem for him.
I can look Henry 1 point against Houston. He used to get 200 yards against him. Obviously, not anymore. But.
Yeah, it wasn't snowing in Vermont, Johnny. Henry only plays well when it's snowing in Vermont. But I mean, he's got Addison to plug in there though, for Chase, and Addison had a great week as well. But unlucky again, Michael. And once again, one and done. But we're going to have to start calling him Michael one and done Amos, Although that's 2 years in a row for me as well now, one and done. So I better start shutting up about that as well. But yeah.
Well, we've got some comments for it.
It was heard. Good. I hope it was heard. It was meant, dickhead. Carr, Mixon, Etienne, Mixon and Etienne have let him down. I mean, everybody's Connor's the only one that's not let Michael down, and that's been the downfall of the week. But as you say, all of those injuries and Michael's got the same story as me. All year he's been the number one. He's been up at the top. He drafted so well. He's picked such a good team. It's played well all season long, and then you jump into the playoffs and it just goes.
But then, as you say about an illusion streak, he lost the last game of the regular season to Sean, so he came in an illusion streak. So he didn't go through the division for once. I think he's done it a couple of years in a row now, but he didn't this year thanks to that last one. But it is a sore one, getting that close.
Sean will march on it, and with every chance, Hill's going to have much better weeks than that as well. Hill's doing very well, and he'll finish the season okay, I'm sure.
Well, Howell actually got taken out of the game. I don't know if it's for injury or for the fact he was struggling, but he came out of the game.
I do doff my cap for him picking up playing Singletary over Pierce. That was a tough decision, and he could have went either way, and you probably wouldn't have blamed him for going either way.
No, but so I think it would be that big run at the end that basically got him into the field goal range. Which basically decided the game. I think they got called back for a long touchdown as well, but that was some run which got him into field goal range.
He had a big game, and it seems that Singletary's going to be the man going forward. So, at least the next couple of weeks while he's on form. So that's good news for Sean as well. And he's got as much a chance as anybody else coming in, probably a wee bit more than most. He's got a good, decent team there, and he has traded for it. To be fair, you know what I mean. There's no getting away from it. He's traded for it.
He has indeed. So this is the matchups in the championship. So it's Sean against Doug.
So it's the North play each other. So it won't be an all North final, much less an all North semi final. That is for sure. But yeah, you know, Joe's got to be rubbing his hands with glee at that one. Sorry, Mark, but you know,
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going to be like,
I mean,
got to
let's not
get them.
forget Mark sold out this year.
Oh, got a message from Sean.
Let's not forget that Mark. Oh, I know, but you're Mr. Agency, so shut up. But
Brilliant.
it's, I mean, you know, Mark will be the first to admit he sold out this year, and he was not expecting to get anywhere near this far. So Joe will be rubbing his hands with glee at another chance and maybe getting to another final, but never, ever, and I mean ever, rule Mark out. You know, because he seems to win games with absolute shite week after week after week after week. So I do doff my cap to that and how he manages to find the wins from somewhere, you know. And you got to fancy Joe's chances. So, you know, Mostart's playing against Dallas, and if Mostart can do half of what Cook done against them this week.
Oh, that was fun to see, but also pretty shocking for a team that thinks they're going to win the Super Bowl.
You know, it's Cups against New Orleans. That's a tough one. He's got St. Brown playing against Minnesota. That's probably a tough. You know, Joe's guys have got hard games. You know, Lawrence against Tampa's a good one for Lawrence, actually. They're not as good. They defend the run better than the throw.
Oh, they're good against the run, yeah.
You know, you've got Cup there playing New Orleans. You've got St. Brown playing Minnesota. That's two solid defenses. Don't get me wrong. I expect both players to do just fine, but they're playing very difficult defenses. Then you've got Kittle up against Baltimore.
Yeah, London, that'll be a. I don't know if that'll be a high scoring game. That one, to be honest.
I think his biggest one's there. London could go off against the Colts. You know, if the weather's okay, I can see London going off.
Well, especially with Ridder not throwing the ball. So.
But yes, and then if you look on Mark's side, he's got Goff at Minnesota, which is a problem, you know, and he's got him through, and the fact that Joe's got St. Brown, that kind of hurts Scott, you know, when he goes to St. Brown, it's not really a benefit for Mark. So, you know, then you've got, I mean, Perrine, well, Perrine, who they play in New England, does it matter? Robinson against the Colts has got, surely he's going to get more than minus 0.3. They can't just dump him, can they? You've got Wilson in there against the Redskins. Sorry, take it back. The Commanders.
Yes.
Please don't. I don't need the PR police on my case. They're already on my case enough. Thank you very much. So just stay away. I do apologise. Wilson against the Commanders. That's depending on who's thrown to him. He could have a really big game. Wicks against the Panthers could have a really big game. You know, Higgins has got a tough one, and Samuel against the Jets is a tough one because the Jets are solid against wide receivers. Then, of course, he's got the Bucks D against the Jags, Butker against Las Vegas. So, yeah, I mean, whilst Joe is a heavy favourite, you wouldn't put it past Mark finding a win again.
God, well, yeah, but somebody's asking what our predictions are, and I've got to go Tartan Bears and Doug.
Well, I've got to go Tartan Bears there. I'm just having a look at Doug and Sean's game now. So, at the moment, Sean's got Flacco starting against Houston. How well against the Jets? I can almost see that. I can see what he's doing there. He's got Henry against Seattle. I like that matchup. I think Henry should do quite well against Seattle. Singletary against the Browns is a tough one, obviously. Waddle against Dallas is a tough one. But Addison at Detroit against Detroit have been given away. They've been pretty. You know, the defense.
That could be a shootout. That one.
Yeah, the defense started well this year, Detroit, but it's went to pot. It really has.
As soon as I picked them up at agency, they went to pot. I think.
Kincaid against the Clippers. Surely to goodness, I mean, if you're going to bounce back from a goose egg, it's going to be against the Clippers, isn't it?
Yeah, you thought so.
Algier playing the Colts, you know, so that's. You know, you would think he'll do okay there. He'll get enough touches, you know, and then he's got Hopkins kicking at Houston and the Colts against Atlanta, who could have anyone at quarterback. So yeah, you've got to think that you got to think that Sean's team's fine, you know. And then we're looking down Doug's. I'm sorry, but I do not for 1 second believe that he's going to put. Maybe he will put McLaurin on the bench against the Jets. Yeah, he's currently got McLaurin on the bench against the Jets.
Yeah, I see that.
He's rolling with Warren in the flex against the Bengals. I don't see why not. Then he's Hubbard and Montgomery. Well, he's playing always playing Mahomes, but what a good game he's got for Mahomes against Las Vegas. You know,
Was it not the game that Travis scored 4 touchdowns and had like 20 yards or 10 yards against Las Vegas last year?
it could very well be actually.
I'm pretty sure he got like it was like 2-yard touchdown pass.
I remember the game. He had 0 yards.
I'm pretty sure it was against Vegas. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that one.
So yeah, that's and he's got obviously the Mahomes Kelsey stack, really good opponent for your stack, and then he's got Brown against the Giants, so that's got to tee off. He's got Smith and Jigba against the Titans. You've got to think he can tee off, and Hubbard against Green Bay. Green Bay don't defend the run, we don't defend the run.
Oh, I saw that last week, yeah.
Doing very well. So yeah, all in all, there I think Doug's heavy favourite and Joe's heavy favourite.
Doug's asking who the Clippers are.
Oh, shut up, yeah. They're a basketball team, Douglas, the Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard used to play for them, but I believe he's moved on now. Anyway. Yeah, so there we go. So we've got, Doug's a heavy favourite. And then in the final, you've got, I'll decide who I think will win the final next week when we're at the final place. But yeah, well done, Mark. Well done, Joe. Well done, Doug. And well done, Sean. And good luck, 3 of you in the next round.
Yes. I wonder who he's not wishing good luck to.
I never
got the consolations.
I didn't name any names.
You didn't name any names. And obviously, the number 1 seed in the consolations, getting up to the win against the Flying Eagles.
Yeah, well,
58, so
Sean's on the roll, isn't he? So, well done, Sean. Congratulations. You have to think Sean's favourite for the number 1 seed now, and so he should be. His team's actually very solid. I mean, it wouldn't be unmissed in the playoffs, That 80.56 would have won half the games as well.
I know.
And
so that's him on a 7-game win streak now.
7-game win streak. So yeah, and I mean, White, Johnson, Ferguson's going to do well. Elliott's going to do better than that as long as Stevenson's out. Allen's going to do a lot better than that. I mean, he's got more than enough there to see off the consolation guys and get in. And Graham, well, we bleat on about, once you think your season's over, you still got to think about now, because you still got to think about the number 1 pick and getting a big difference between 1 and 8. If you end up number 8 pick, that's middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
so
I know that feeling.
Yeah, me too. So I mean, he didn't.
Oh God, he's been sitting in our chat now.
And he's got a few, he's got a few there. He's got Fields, he's got Adams, he's got Njoku. Adams and Njoku did him fine, but he gave away too much. And he's ended up with a goose egg and Hyatt, McLaurin and Gainwell doing absolute sod all for him at running back. And it's all added up to 58 points. And Graham's now just looking at next year and hoping that all those early picks that he's managed to bank are going to help him get the team that might take him into the playoffs and beyond next year.
Well, the only problem with this team is the only player on the bench that didn't do as well as the tight end that was actually playing.
No,
it's got 2 good tight ends, and you're going to have to win them in this league. So
yeah, he picked the right team.
Yeah. Oh.
It just wasn't enough.
Would you rather have the number 1 Niners pick or a couple of fairly high picks?
Number 1 Niners pick. I don't even know what that means. Niners pick.
I'm not too sure either. Unless it's called like a prick, I'm not sure. But,
I'm here for that. I agree with you, Sean.
Going by the previous comment of the some of the money winning the 49ers for the Lombardi team double.
Would you rather have the number 1
Niners pick?
I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm lost with that one. I'm sure he'll come up with an answer there. So I'm saying put myself there. Hey, 90 points.
You're coming, Johnny. It's.
Oh, this is what I meant. Here you go. Would you rather have the number 1 overall pick or trade away stars for several higher picks? I picked the latter. There you go.
Yeah.
Read the comment above, Doug.
To be honest with you, the number 1 pick in this league is huge because of the keepers. because you've got the number one pick in the first 3 rounds, and if assuming that you have the number one pick, you've probably not got anyone that you're keeping. So you're going the first round, you're going the second round, you're going the third round. That's going to get you 3 picks inside the first spot, maybe 20 picks of a 16 team league, 3 out of 20 over a couple of them kind of late 4th rounders and 5th rounders. I think I'd rather take the studs and get the studs in, and that's where your points come from, and then you pick up the rest later on. So I'd go the former, to be honest with you, Sean. I understand why you're saying the latter. You know,
Well,
I mean, several high picks. They're not that high that you're getting. You know, they're not that high. You're getting back end of the 4th, back end of the 5th. You know, as opposed to 1st, 2nd, 3rd. 3 picks in the first out of the first 20. I'd go for over a couple of extra back end 4th, back end 5th round picks. But yeah, Madhouse G-Men 92-26. You're one of the favourites to get that elusive first rounder as well, Johnny. Scheme team nothing. Although you'll be keeping, I would imagine you'll be keeping Gibbs.
Oh yes, Gibbs will be getting kept.
At least in consideration, you know. But I mean, big move. I thought you might have put in Brown. I've got to say, I thought you might have played Brown. Rolled with Foreman, did not work. You'll not be rolling with Foreman next week, will you?
No, Foreman has not been a lineup this week. No, I nearly put Jones in and I swapped him back out again.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but he was obviously because Dylan was out, was he not?
Dylan was out. Aye, Dylan
So
did.
I nearly did put Jones in, but I went against. I put Foreman back in. But their offense was just so fucking awful. The Bears. I can never win it, but it wasn't because of their offense.
No, it was not. But I mean, Higgins are back. Higgins is back now. That's
and healthy, so it helps. Yeah,
with Chase out as well. That's massive. So
Jordan Reed had another good game. He's been a good pickup this year. Or Jaden Reed, sorry, not Jordan Reed.
Yeah. I mean, he's been fantastic. He's been the best Packers receiver by, I would say, quite a distance. And I think he's got a big future in front of him as well. You know, I just had an off game, but you didn't need him this week. He'll bounce back next week. That's when you need him, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, great win for you. And Alan, yeah, unlucky. It's always been next year for you for a while now. And as I say, it's there's no one showed up again. Jackson's just been so disappointing for him all year long, really. I know he's had a couple of weeks. I mean, they were talking about Jackson for MVP for a while. I mean,
yeah,
I don't get that call.
I would love to see CMC get the MVP, but it's not going to happen.
But it won't happen
because when you look at them, everything goes through him.
Oh, I mean, he is the MVP.
If he wasn't with them, sorry, Doug, they would nobody be anywhere near as good as what they are.
He's the San Francisco 49ers MVP, so how can he give it to Brock Purdy, who's going to get it now?
Yeah, probably.
But how can you give it to Brock Purdy when CMC's the MVP? He's not even the MVP of his own team. I
know. He has been playing well, fair enough. I will give you that, Doug.
Oh, no, he's been playing fine. He's been playing absolutely great, John. And
it's still most of it, like, so much of it goes through McCaffrey.
But it's most valuable player. He's the least valuable player in that starting lineup because you plug in Sam Darnold and they're going to do exactly the same thing. And see if Doug Dare pops up on that chat and say, well, not according to Sunday, when Darnold had two fucking throws he had, and Doug's condemned him to fucking...
In fairness, they were pretty hard throws.
So I'm sorry, but you plug Darnold in there, you're getting exactly the same output. That's not to say Purdy's not done very well. He has done. He's done very well. It'll be Brock Who in a few years' time, but he's done very well this year. And if he goes on and he gets his ring, he does deserve it. Whereas if they'd have went and got the ring when it was Jimmy Garoppolo was carried to that ring. If Purdy would have been carried to that ring, if they go on and win the ring this year, Purdy's deserved his ring. He's done very well. But he is not the MVP because he's not the MVP of his own team. So how can he be the MVP of the league?
I know, because it's always the bloody quarterbacks.
Well, there you go.
Who was it? Was it Adrian Peterson? Did Adrian Peterson get the
last non-quarterback to ever win it?
Yeah, because he had a stupid amount of yards.
It was over 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
So they kind of couldn't do that.
And the fact held in the play last week and stuff around here, I think he's not going to. I don't know if he's going to get to 2,000.
They wouldn't have given it to Hill anyway because it's a popularity contest as well, and Hill's a right fanny, so they were never going to him anyway.
No.
But
yeah,
I mean, Alan's been let down badly this year by, to be honest with you, he kind of got what he's deserved at wide receiver. I mean, picking up both Ridley and Kirk is pretty dumb. I don't get the point of combining the two of them. It's very difficult to get production out of both in 1 week. And they have went week on week. And I mean that for any team. If you go and pick up Ayuk, you're not then going to go and pick up Debo as well, are you? You're going to play. You go with the one that you've got, and you hope that and knowing that it's going to be the other guy's week every now and then. But when you play both, you're kind of taking two positions to get one position's points, if you know what I mean.
Well, if I've got one consolation out of this year, I've got the clean sweep against Alan.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's much a consolation these days, Johnny. But you hang on to everything.
I'll take that fucking consolation. Yeah,
you take every crumb you can get, my friend.
Well, all the other crumbs have been pretty unlucky so far, pretty shit so far. So, but no, obviously, it's a Orkney derby, so that's why I take the crumbs in that one.
It's but yes, well done, and on to the semi-final for you. And I don't even know the score of this last game. I can't remember. I've not seen it yet.
Well, unfortunately, the last two games, the winning team had fucking crazy scores this week. Batman's movies, 148 points up against 89 points for the Blue Team Patriots. That's been like 36 points by the should-be MVP McCaffrey.
Yes.
24 points by one of the best defenses.
I mean, Ray's shown throughout the season that these scores are in his team. The problem Ray's had is uber inconsistency, and that they've done it less. They've not done it. They've done it less times than they've actually done it. It's not like.
Unfortunately, it's a bit of a waste of McCaffrey, to be honest. But
it's been his it's been a waste of McCaffrey. As a waste, and it's. But he's shown that he's. It's in there. And listen, the number one pick with McCaffrey banked away as the keeper.
Did you not get the number one pick nearly every year because of McCaffrey? I'm not far off it.
No far off it, no far off it. But yeah, I mean, big things to come from Batman's, and it's been a massive week. I don't expect the same week next week. If the regular season I didn't to go by, it will be back there. But 80-90 is more than enough to win most of these games now. I mean, he lost Stevenson as well. He's got Palmer sitting there on the bench. He's now back from IR and 17-point return. He's got O'Connell there, so he's got decisions to make, Kazray.
Yeah, but who saw that coming from O'Connell?
Well.
That was mental, that game.
I'm hoping he's got 3 more of them in him, because I've got him in a couple of dynasties.
Well,
so I hope he wins the job. But yeah, Chris, unlucky, pal. I mean, your season was really picked up by Jefferson and Richardson, I'm afraid, my friend. 2 years in a row, you've been absolutely fantastic. And to be honest, you had a great team at the start of this year, and you got screwed over with injury. Shit happens. Move on to next year and see what happens. You know what I mean? That's pretty much Chris's options now. And I've got absolutely no doubt Jefferson will be front and centre of keeper. Will anyone else? Will they roll the dice for Richardson and try and keep him? You'd be able to pick him up later on in the draft, so I wouldn't imagine so.
No. Well, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Mayfield, 32 points. 32 points for Baker Mayfield. And Mike Evans, 11.
So who got the rest of the points then? Well, Godwin got all the... He got all the...
Judy got them, did he? I think Troutman got quite a few.
But Doug's been checking up the stats for us, Mr. Statistician. Yeah. He had it this year, but not the 2 years before. Yeah, but you've been no far off it, Doug.
There's a stat. There's a stat on the corner. Do you remember when fantasy football first came on the telly and it was Badil and Skinner that were doing it, and they had the big fat boy with the glasses in the corner doing the stats? There's their fat boy in the corner stat. Oh,
well, I thought our fat boy's actually doing the presenting, but we've got Doug in the back doing the stats. So.
No. That's our fat boy stat man.
Was it Stab? No. What was it?
No, his name was Stat. I'm sure they called him Stattle.
There you go. Stattle.
But yeah, there you go. But so a good one got a rake. There you go. That's who got all the points for Denver, for Tampa. But it wasn't Evans, so there we go.
Well, it wasn't just good one. He got all the little passes, third down catches and stuff like that. There was somebody got a nice big catch. What the hell was it again?
Chris got stuffed with Richardson and Jefferson. There's no getting away from it. Laporte has done very well all season long.
And obviously, when you come to this, it wouldn't have made a difference. But obviously, losing Collins out and Watson out as well.
And Pollard, by the way. Pollard's been a big disappointment for him. That's been a big letdown for him. But yeah, not this year, Chris. On to next year for you.
Cool.
Oh, excuse me.
Then another high score. The boys are back in town.
Well, I mean, Ross was very close to getting into the main dance as well, wasn't he?
There you go, Dr. Stato.
Angus Lowren, there you go. That's what he is. Ex-pro gambler, so there you go. Sits well with you, pal. Right. I mean, Purdy's done very well for Ross, you know. Stuff's been well all season. Cooks went off and won there, obviously, but Cook's been last few weeks. Cook's let him down a little bit in the middle of the season, and that's where he's kind of maybe fell off a bit. Samuel and Pittman, Henry, Gibson.
Well, you got to think Pittman won't be playing this week after that. See, that boy's been banned for the rest of the year.
Has he?
Games like, but
it was a bloody
like. Oh, he should be fucking banned for more than that. That was a horrible hit.
Absolutely smashed them. But yeah, I mean, Rossi's kind of season died off a little bit when Burrow went into it, and then when Andrews went, that was when he really went down. You know, when he really lost his grip on the playoff spot. But you know, get the number 1 seed, Ross, and you never know. Next year, maybe you're here. And Graham, to be honest, I don't even think Graham's that bothered about the number 1 seed because he's got that many early picks. I mean, he's done by round 8.
Fair point. Yeah, I think it's Ross he picked up Henry. Obviously, he didn't play him last week when he had a good game, but he played him this week and got a good game.
Yeah,
that's 2 weeks in a row that he's actually had a decent game.
He had one good game at the start of the season. Everyone jumped all over him. Then he was crap for the rest of it. And then, as you say, he's bounced back last couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll see what he does. I mean, that's going to be his tight end for the rest of the playoffs now. So we'll see how he does.
And here we go. This is the matchup for the consolations.
Yeah, so Ed, it's you're up against Sean. Third one in the season. Is it 1-1 at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah, 1-1 at the moment. So season decider, see who can get through. Be a tight game, Johnny. It'll be really close. Both have got decent squads, and how nice would it be if after all the crap that you've taken and what was probably a little bit of a overpay, if Tua comes up and has a massive game and sticks it to the guy who's robbed you for him. It would be nice.
Yeah, just look at the game. Now, obviously, they've got 3 at 0 points, so if they find somebody to replace them.
I hope Tua does it for you this week. I really do. And
especially it's against Dallas, but Josh Allen's going to score plenty of points against the bloody Chargers or the Clippers.
He will be. But yeah, and Ray and Ross, well, you know, if this week's got anything to go by, that's game of the week, and I include the main semi-finals in that. You know, it's with McCaffrey, anything can happen for Ray, and for Ross. He's got some consistent players there, you know, and I'm sure they'll come into their own. But yeah, I'm going to take you to beat Sean this week, Johnny. I think you're going to beat Sean. And I think that Boys Are Back in Town will beat Ray. I think McCaffrey will come good, but the other ones will slip off, and Boys will take that one. That's my predictions.
Yeah, I do think I know Ray's got. I mean, Batman's got Chris McCaffrey, but I do. Boys Are Back in Town. I think are too strong to get past that one. And I'm not making a prediction on my one because I think it's going to be a coin toss.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You shouldn't predict your own. You shouldn't have to predict your own game anyway. We all know who you want to win it, and that's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'd like to get. I would like to get Sean the number 1 or the 301 pick for him.
Well, that's the thing. You see, I mean, see if the fact that you're playing each other's a bit harsh for Sean. Otherwise, he could have had the 101.
Well, he could potentially get the 301 and the 303.
Yeah.
Either way, depending what it is.
Yeah.
At best outcome is going to get 301 and 303.
Yeah.
At worst is going to get 302 and 304.
Yeah.
So it's still sorry. So.
And it's
before Stato comes up with some fucking thing about it, like so.
He's only going to keep Allen as well. There's no way he's going to have 2 keepers, so he'll be in the second round too. You know.
Yeah.
So you'll get one in there as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
the 303 and the 301, the 302 was on, not anymore.
Yeah, so it wasn't until the bracket came out.
But he can get the 301 and the 303 win or lose here, to be fair. So
Yeah, so he sorted.
He's getting 2 of the first 4 picks.
Yeah,
Got to be
and
good.
I'll only be keeping Gibbs. It'd be nice. Well, I'll still get an early pick in the first and in the second round at least, as long as I make it work.
Yeah,
I do remember. Obviously, I picked Gibbs in the first round, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people laughed at me for doing that because he was a rookie when we did a live draft.
Yeah, it wasn't a daft pick at all, because it is the keeper potential that you're putting into that as well, you know. And it's,
well, that's why I picked him, because I thought he's a rookie. He's meant to be really good. He was slow to start, but he's good now. So.
And they're very much showing that him and Montgomery can coexist in the same team, because Montgomery will be back next year. He's on a multi-year contract, and they seem to like him a lot. But I don't think that detracts from Gibbs in any way, you know.
No. I think he's almost getting more touches now, actually, than Montgomery at the moment. But.
Yeah, and he will, and it'll continue to go that way. But it's that will be the keeper for you for sure. But yeah, so that's the semi-finals next week. This weekend, then, Johnny, it's Christmas weekend. There are games on Christmas Day.
Unfortunately, I know that. Yes,
there are games.
There's games on Thursday. Is there a
game
on Thursday? Yeah, a game on Saturday. 2 games: Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day.
3 games on Saturday, one after the other. One is Sunday morning.
There's 2 on Saturday. I think there's not one at 6 o'clock. There's one at 9:30 and one at.
Oh, is there no one at 6?
I don't think so. I'll have to have a look.
But and then there's a full card on Christmas Eve going into Christmas Day. Happy days. So yeah, for all those that have got kids in tow and kids in the house, unlucky. For all those,
you got Friday at 1:15 a.m. Then you got 9:30. You got the Bengals Steelers, which should be a good game. Sunday 1 a.m. You've got the Bills and Chargers, which should be a good game. And then you've got the 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
The usuals.
I'll not be staying up on Christmas Eve night to watch the Patriots and the Broncos.
Well, some of us have no kids in the house and a wife who's working 6 till 6 Christmas Eve and 6 till 6 Christmas Day.
Cool. Well, I'll be at the mother-in-law's on Christmas Day, but Josh would usually want to come home about 3, 4 o'clock before it gets dark, so we'll head home. I'll put my feet up and watch the Raiders game, and then watch the Giants get packed at 9:30, and then enjoy the Raiders game, because I'm not working the next day, and she's not working. I don't have to get kids up for school, so I don't have to get up early. So.
Well, suffice to say, I will be sitting here on my Jack Jones watching every game that's on, and I will be in my element.
Then we'll do the pod next Tuesday.
We'll do the pod next Tuesday. Excellent.
We could even do it earlier if you're off.
Can do. I mean, I'm off next week, so can do it anytime.
So.
And I have got no intention of going in or doing anything.
So good luck to Sean, Ray, Ross.
Good luck to
everybody apart from Doug.
That's it.
Sorry, Stato. Everybody apart from Stato.
Everyone apart from Stato. And we'll see you next week, guys. Good luck in the semis.
See you next week.